The journey west and the great expansion of the United States of America as told by the bald eagle, rattlesnake, fox, and dove. For 12 to 15-year-olds, Video 8, John Colter, the man who ran from death. The fire crackled beneath the cold night sky. Fox curled her tail around herself while Snake rested proudly on a warm stone. Dove watched the stars quietly. Eagle stood high above them on a pine branch, staring westward toward the mountains.
Fox tilted her head. So after Lewis and Clark returned home, what happened to the mountain men?
Snake grinned immediately. Now this is my kind of story.
Dove smiled softly. Danger again?
Snake rattled proudly. Always danger.
Eagle spread his great wings. One of the most famous mountain men of all was John Colter.
Fox blinked. He was part of the Corps of Discovery, wasn't he?
Yes, Eagle answered. John Colter traveled with Lewis and Clark all the way to the Pacific and back.
Snake laughed. And then after surviving all that, he decided to go back into the wilderness.
Fox stared. Voluntarily?
Yes, Eagle answered. Colter loved the mountains, rivers, plains, and wilderness life. When the expedition returned in 1806, he asked permission to leave before reaching St. Louis so he could join for trappers heading back west.
Snake grinned. That tells you exactly what kind of man he was.
The early mountain men.
Dove looked thoughtfully into the fire. What exactly did mountain men do?
Eagle answered. They trapped beaver mainly for fur.
Fox twitched her ears. Hats!
Yes, Eagle said. In Europe and Eastern America, fashionable hats were made from beaver felt. Beaver fur became extremely valuable.
Snake smirked. So men risked freezing, starvation, attacks, rivers, mountains, and grizzlies for hats.
Fox burst out laughing. When you put it that way?
And money, Eagle continued. But mountain men also explored huge areas of the West before large settlements arrived. Many became skilled hunters, scouts, interpreters, and guides.
Dove nodded softly. And many learned native languages and lived among native peoples.
Yes, Eagle answered. Some married native women and built close relationships with tribes across the West.
Colter heads west again.
Snake lifted his head eagerly. So what happened to Colter?
Eagle's voice deepened. John Colter began trapping and exploring through what is now Wyoming and Montana.
Fox asked quietly. Alone?
Sometimes, Eagle answered, often with only one or two companions.
Fox shook her head slowly. That sounds unbelievably dangerous.
It was, Eagle replied. He traveled through grizzly country, freezing winters, mountain passes, rivers, and lands controlled by powerful tribes.
Snake grinned wide. Now that is living.
Dove looked less enthusiastic. That is also dying.
Snake shrugged. Yes, possibly.
Colter described strange wonders.
Fox suddenly perked up. Wait, wasn't Colter connected to Yellowstone somehow?
Eagle nodded slowly. Yes, John Colter became one of the first Americans of European descent known to describe the geothermal wonders of what later became Yellowstone National Park.
Fox blinked. The boiling water places?
Yes, Eagle answered. Hot springs, steaming ground, bubbling mud, geysers.
Snake laughed loudly, and almost nobody believed him.
That is true, Eagle said. Some people later mocked the stories and called the area Colter's hell.
Fox smirked. Honestly, if someone described exploding water, steaming rivers, boiling ground, and smoking earth, I might doubt them too.
Dove smiled softly. But he was telling the truth.
Yes, Eagle answered.
The Blackfeet. The fire popped sharply.
Snake lowered his head. Now tell one of the more dangerous parts.
Fox groaned. There is always a dangerous part with you.
Snake grinned. Of course. I love the dangerous stories.
Eagle looked solemn. In 1808, Colter and another trapper named John Potts were traveling by canoe along the Jefferson River.
Dove looked uneasy already. They encountered Blackfeet warriors.
Fox asked quietly, were relations peaceful?
Sometimes between traders and tribes, Eagle answered. But tensions in the northern Rockies were growing worse, and the Blackfeet were especially dangerous for early trappers.
Snake flicked his tail. The Blackfeet wanted to protect their lands.
Yes, Eagle answered gravely. Many Blackfeet saw trappers entering their territory as a serious threat.
John Potts. The fire burned low.
Eagle continued quietly. Seeing Colter and Potts in a canoe, the Blackfeet ordered them to come ashore.
Fox whispered, that sounds bad.
It became worse, Eagle answered. According to later accounts, Potts resisted.
Snake narrowed his eyes. What happened?
Potts was shot and killed. Dove lowered her head sadly.
The fire crackled softly. Colter's run.
Fox looked toward Eagle carefully. And Colter?
Eagle's voice became low and steady. The Blackfeet stripped Colter naked.
Snake grinned slightly. They planned to hunt him.
Fox stared in horror. Hunt him?
Yes, Eagle answered. According to the famous account later told by trapper John Bradbury, the Blackfeet told Colter to run.
Dove whispered, that is terrifying.
Eagle nodded. Colter ran barefoot across the plains while warriors chased him.
Snake's eyes gleamed, and he kept running.
Yes, Eagle answered. He had no choice. It was escape or die. Bradbury later recorded that Colter ran for miles through heat, rocks, prairie grass, and fear.
Fox shook her head slowly. How could anyone survive that?
Eagle answered. Eventually one warrior gained on him.
Snake lifted his hat eagerly. What happened?
Colter turned suddenly. Eagle said quietly, and the exhausted warrior stumbled. Colter seized the man's spear and killed him.
The fire crackled sharply. Fox stared silently. Dove looked saddened.
Eagle continued. Colter then escaped into thick brush along the river and hid beneath driftwood in the water while warriors searched nearby.
Snake grinned proudly. He survived.
Yes, Eagle answered. One of the most famous escape stories in frontier history.
But was the story true?
Fox narrowed her eyes thoughtfully. Wait.
Snake groaned. Here we go.
Fox ignored him. How do we know the story is true?
Dove added softly, so we do not have Colter's own written journal?
No, Eagle answered. Very little written directly by Colter survives.
Fox flicked her tail. So historians debate details.
Yes, Eagle answered. But most historians believe some version of the escape truly happened.
Snake grinned. Probably because nobody invents that kind of nightmare. And almost everyone knew the Blackfeet were very dangerous.
First-hand voices.
Dove asked quietly, what did people who met Colter say about him?
Eagle answered. John Bradbury described Colter as deeply experienced in wilderness survival.
Fox tilted her head. Not exactly flashy?
No, Eagle replied. Most accounts describe him as skilled, quiet, tough, and highly respected.
Snake laughed. The kind of man who survives grizzlies and being hunted barefoot.
Yes, Eagle answered. William Clark also later referred to Colter in records connected to Western travel and trapping.
Dove smiled softly. And native nations knew mountain men too.
Yes, Eagle answered. Some tribes welcomed trade. Others feared what growing numbers of trappers and settlers would bring.
Life in the wilderness.
Fox looked thoughtfully into the flames. What was daily life actually like for mountain men?
Eagle answered. Cold winters, storms, mosquitoes, hunger, dangerous rivers, broken bones, illness, loneliness.
Snake grinned. And freedom.
Eagle nodded. Yes, many mountain men loved the freedom of wilderness life.
Dove added softly, but it could also be deeply lonely.
Yes, Eagle answered. Some spent months or years far from settlements.
Fox asked, "Did many die young?"
Yes, many did, Eagle answered gravely.
Native peoples and the fur trade.
Dove looked westward. How did the fur trade affect native nations?
Eagle's expression grew solemn. It brought trade goods, guns, metal tools, and horses into many regions.
Fox added quietly, "but also disease and sometimes fueled conflict."
Yes, Eagle answered. The fur trade changed power balances between tribes and increased competition over hunting territories.
Snake lowered his head, and eventually more settlers followed.
Yes, Eagle answered gravely. The mountain men often became the first wave of much larger changes coming westward.
The end of Colter's life.
Fox asked softly, "What happened to John Colter?"
Eagle answered. After years of trapping and exploring, Colter eventually returned east.
Snake looked surprised. He actually stopped?
For a while, Eagle answered with slight amusement. He married and settled for a short time in Missouri.
Dove smiled gently. Did he live peacefully?
Not for long, Eagle answered quietly. John Colter died around 1812, probably only in his 30s.
Fox blinked. "That young?"
Yes, Eagle answered. Many mountain men lived hard and dangerous lives.
What Colter represented. The fire glowed low beneath the stars.
Dove looked toward the dark mountains. So what did John Colter represent?
Eagle answered slowly. He represented the beginning of the mountain men era. Explorers, trappers, scouts, and wanderers who crossed the Rockies long before wagon trains arrived.
Fox nodded thoughtfully. He also showed how little Americans understood about the West at first.
Yes, Eagle answered.
Snake grinned proudly, and he survived one of the craziest escape stories in history.
Dove smiled softly. But his story also reminds us how dangerous and complicated the frontier truly was, for trappers, explorers, and native peoples alike.
Eagle lowered his great head. The West was never empty wilderness.
The fire crackled softly.
It was already home to many nations long before mountain men arrived.
If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your family and friends. If you'd like to be notified when new chapters are released, click the notification bell. Be sure to look in the description below for the reflection questions and questions for further research. They're designed to encourage discussion, critical thinking, and a much deeper understanding of history. The questions will lead you to a broader understanding of this subject. Thank you again for watching. Until next time, never stop asking questions and never stop learning.